Well, good morning, friends. How are you? Hey, my name's Fred Green, and this is my wilderness adventure, if this is your first time joining me. We've got a lovely camp going on here. I woke up a little chilled. It looks like morning dew has gone off from me, by the way. And, well, we got a big day ahead of us. We're going to saw a whole bunch of planks today. We're going to clear out areas in this patchy grass just south of me. Make sure we have a lot of good space for building the cabin, and we're going to get that started in the next couple of days. Look at that. I got a garden going right now with tomatoes, rosemary, and garlic. Oh, all the Italians are going to enjoy that, I think. Now, if only I could hunt for pasta. See, we've got a whole bunch of wood right there. We've cut up a bunch of trees down, and we're going to build our cabin right here. So I've got this sickle that we're going to use to really harvest some of the grass and start getting things sorted. Now, I tell you what I'm going to do is I see the fish are biting right there. I am going to move my traps in hopes that that will help catch bigger game. So first, let's get going on that this morning. All right, let's make sure I'm nice and empty so I know what I'm getting here. All right. Well, didn't find much. Let's remove the trap. And let's set it right here next to where we know something's biting. There we go. Now we can't bait the trap because we figured that out last time. We can only use chum as baiting, and I don't know how to do that. What we're going to do first off is give myself a little bit of a beard trim, go out and forage for some breakfast, and then we're going to get to work today. Oh, we found a crayfish. Look at that. Oh, good boy. That's a lot of good calories right there. Hey, I have to make sure we cook that up. There, looking a little more like myself. All right, let's go check that other trap and forage for a little bit of food here. Would you believe it? I think I just found a... Oh, it's an empty beer can. A little bit of beer left in it, I think. Well, we'll use it for a little bit, and if we don't need it or we need to trash it, we can do that too. My goodness. Wild cabbage. Well, that is wonderful. Searching for vegetables this time. We're going to change it up from the mushrooms, I think. Daikon. All right. That's a good big old radish there. So I think what we're going to do is forage in the morning, try to get in the habit of doing that, making a salad to make some breakfast so it's nice and quick. Get on with whatever we're doing this day, which in this case is chopping down some grass, clearing out the way, and then we're doing a lot of sawing here. And then in the evenings, whatever we catch, that we need to cook, well, we can do that. Cauliflower. All right. Who needs a garden and fishing and all that when you can just go around a lake and find all the food you need? I say this as winter will be on us in a couple of months, so, well, wish me luck. A stone mace head. My goodness. Boy, we're going to find a whole bunch of good stuff here. I'll learn the crafting at some point. All right, now we'll build a cabin and get that all sorted out, and then I will learn the minutia of the crafting inventories in this. All right, let's check this trap here. Make sure I know what I'm getting myself into. Okay. All right, got a frog and more mussels and seaweed. And just like this other trap I set to the south, well, so far that did well. I don't see any fish biting up here, so we'll leave this one alone. Let's get back home. I got a lot of work to do. Well, I'm still a little weepy from eating all those bugs last night. Hopefully a good salad will help take care of that. I still don't understand why. I don't think they taste that bad, to tell you the truth. I'm not a picky eater. Hey, let me know if you're a picky eater or not. Hopefully I'll give you some good tips on trying to try new things, you know? Unless you're allergic to stuff, then, well, a lot of good that'll do you in the wilderness. Can you imagine being allergic to peanuts, but you're trapped in a peanut field? Boy, that might be some sort of purgatory that you don't really want, do you? Well, I tell you what, that was fairly productive. Huh. Good. That took me most of the morning, though, so I don't know. I'll have to get better at that. All right, let's put our seeds down and create that salad because we are getting hungry. Make a canned pipe. Huh. Chum, cow butter, clean a bandage. Oh my goodness. Just with looking at a broken beer can. Boy. Well, we'll keep that right over here then. Yeah, I just got to spend time with that. All right, I'm hungry. Let's get some food. All right, vegetable and mushroom salad. All right, we'll have to have another one at some point. But that will do for now. All right, let's clear this area here. Well, at least the garden's gonna be well watered. Alright, just a little bit more work to do. I cut down most of the egregious growth that I could and saw a lot of these bushes, so we'll clean up the sticks, we'll clean up a little bit more of these patches here, and then we'll see about eating another meal and processing a lot of this wood here. Okay, well, field's about ready. I'm gonna get a drink of water and sit down to another meal here and start working on this wood. We're gonna make them all into planks. And maybe we'll save 2 logs just in case we need that for something else. All right, cabbage and mushroom salad. Here we go. Burn wood into charcoal. Oh, interesting. Saw a log and carve a bucket. Just need a medium handle. Very nice. What does all this have to do with a log? See? That's what I'm talking about. All the crafting. See, look at this. I just go and show and craft recipes here. And it just gives me everything. I don't need everything. I need stuff that's important. Douse cotton and alcohol with a log, right? Why do I need that? All right, I'm just going to keep sawing here. We'll figure it out at some point. My goodness, I tell you, sometimes it takes an artisan to craft anything, but I need to be a novice and slowly learn, but I have to do it in the right way. So we'll figure it out. You see, the problem is I'm too stubborn to really take the time to bring things around, or, take my own time and learn how to craft before I show you guys. That's okay. We're going to learn together. That is the whole point of teaching. Sometimes the student has to be the teacher. And the teacher, well, if we really want to be wise, has failed more times than the student has ever tried. Well, I am here to fail a whole bunch so everyone else learns. But what I do know is how to build a cabin, so that is what we are going to do. We're at least going to lay the floor tomorrow after I get all this cut. Well, I gotta tell you, this is miserable weather. I'm sure the garden loves it. After I get these last few logs cut, we'll check on the garden and then we'll settle down to a nice meal in the rain, I suppose. All right. Wow, a lot of good work. I am soaked to the bone, but we've got a lot of good things here. We can at least get a floor going. Let's check on that garden. Well watered, yeah, I bet. Okay, well, I got a little bit of food to cook here. And I've got some mussels and frog meat we're gonna do. And hopefully that'll help us. I also have mac and cheese and some pancakes and stuff like that, so we'll forego the foraging in the morning and eat the good stuff right here so we have plenty of time in the day to build flooring and maybe get some scaffolding up for the cabin. All right, well, weight's still going down, but hopefully I'm slowing it down until I can really get stabilized here. There we go. All right. We'll wear this. Oh, I look like a goon. But we'll wear that, hopefully. That will keep us a little more warm. Yeah. There. Yeah, a little bit better than just the shirt. There, look at that. Forging, doing real good on that. Very nice. Okay. All right. All right, my friends, I'm going to take the night here and go to sleep. And tomorrow morning, we're going to get right to cooking and setting up this floor. So I will see you then. Well, good morning, friends. I woke up about 4 o'clock here and just waited here in the rain. I can eat bugs, and that makes me absolutely miserable, but this is delightful, apparently. I'd say it'd be in the reverse after sleeping for, I don't know how many weeks we've been here in the rain. Anyway, I'm going to cook up some pancakes and such, and, well, we're going to get going on that floor. It kept nice and toasty with this hoodie, so that's good. All right, some of my mushrooms and mint went a little rotten there, so we'll get some composting going at some point. I got some pancakes going, and 2 of those, so we're just going to eat those up. All right, we'll put a lot of compost items over here until we can actually build a composter, which we've got the sacks for, if it's anything like I remember. But for now, we'll just drop them right off here. All right, we are going to open a box of nails. How many times has anybody tried to build something and you have a box of nails on hand, but because you didn't open it, you were prevented from crafting? I have at least 2 hands worth of times I've done that. All right, well, let's see what we can do. All right, my friends, I think we'll start off with a rambler style. We'll start off by making our cabin maybe 9 tiles long or wide, depending on your orientation. And maybe we'll start off with 7 long or wide, again, depending on your orientation. There, and we don't really need much more space than that, so that'll be our main cabin. We're probably going to be boring and have it just be a rectangle. We'll think about building on in the future, but for now, we need to conserve as best we can and just keep ourselves nice and warm. All right, let's grab as many of these as we can and, well, see what we can do without grabbing them. All right, once we put it down, that is going to be it. Let's go right like that. All right, success. First part of the floor done. All right, here we go. I am thirsty, and I know I'm going to be hungry real soon here, but boy, look at that. That is good work so far. Let's check this trap, see how we did, and we're just going to take a little bit of a break here. All right, frog, seaweed. Wonderful. All right, let's create a salad here. There we go. Well, I don't know if we have enough resources to finish the floor, but we sure are going to try. Let's pick up the rest of these planks and get going. All right. Well, would you look at that? Boy. Well, we turned these squirrels' homes in this small grove into something that will hopefully be a little bit greater than the sum of all of its parts. Not to say I'm any better than any squirrel or other woodland creature, but, well, here we go. Well, we are definitely going to have to cut down a couple more trees, but before we do that, let's make sure we can make a whetstone and maintain our axe here. Okay. Now, I think I need a rock, and I can make an improvised whetstone. Let's see here if I got it right. Two stones. Okay. All right, let's see if that does it. All right. We've got a whetstone. We're going to sharpen the blade. Oh boy, chance of failing and damaging the item. Oh, I don't really want that, do I? Gosh. What are we looking at? Not too bad. Yeah, let's take one chance here. Alright, wish me luck. Okay. Not too bad. And I increased my maintenance skill a little bit. Well, I gained experience on maintenance. Alright, we'll place the whetstone right there. We've got our axe. We've got a little bit of wood and lumber right here, and, well, we are just surrounded by trees. So let's use what we have right here, because I wasn't doing much in the crafting. And then we'll hopefully finish this floor with what we've got. Well, would you look at that? I am one plank away from completely finishing this floor. But that is quite the accomplishment. I mean, we have spent just about 2 weeks here in the wilderness, and we have accomplished a good, safe steading where the dead have not arrived quite yet, and I hope they never do. All right. Well, I am tired, exhausted, thirsty. I'm sure I'm going to be hungry soon. Friends, this was a wonderful day. We're going to count this as a win. I am so glad that you're here on my journey. And we are, well, just like I'm staving off weight loss, which is now dropping to 76 kilos, I am staving off all the random crafting things I'm going to have to learn to continue on my adventure. But with that, we will do some more busy work here, and we will catch you tomorrow morning, pending my survival. All right, friends, thanks for joining me on my wilderness adventure, and I'll see you next time.
Hey mates, thanks for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you liked what you saw, please go ahead, leave a comment, subscribe, and come back for another video. I really appreciate your time and support, and I cannot wait to take you on another adventure. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much.